All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Steaks with Mates. I'm your host, Health Coach Joff, and today I'm joined with a special friend of mine. Her name is Elsbeth. She goes under the handle. What is your handle on social media? Sorry, Elsbeth.
Elsbeth in Ketosis on Instagram,
right.
yeah, and
That's
Elsbeth
right.
on Facebook, yeah.
Yes, and she's making waves in the community that we're currently in the carnivore space. She's got an amazing story of not just weight loss, but just improvements in health overall. And I can't wait to hear, your story in full detail. So I just want to say thank you for coming on board and welcome to one of the episodes of this podcast series.
Thank you.
What led you to making a health and lifestyle change, whatever that may be? Take it back as far as you think you need to go.
Yeah. Well, all my life I was always obese and I struggled. I've been on every diet under the sun, like a lot of my friends or a lot of people I know are or have been, and just ups and downs. Working in the hospitality industry doesn't help because I was a manager. I had to go out a lot for dinner, cocktail parties, after hours entertainment. And of course, eating in the staff canteen where the main meals were always carb loaded. Spaghetti bolognese, carb loaded, lots of noodles all the time. Quick, a sandwich, everything was just carb loaded. And when your body doesn't like carbs, you shouldn't have those foods. Simple as that. But I learned that later. So anyway, going a little bit forward, we came to COVID. It just started and nobody knew anything about it. And we had to go out. I was living on Hamilton Island up in North Queensland. And we had to go in lockdown. And all we heard on the news is one thing which registered up here was, or if you're obese or you might get COVID, you won't survive because a lot of people obese won't survive. And I thought, well, that's it. We're in lockdown. I can't go anywhere. No parties. Nothing is going to disturb me. I can go. I have to go back on keto. It worked before. I'll do it again. So I got the shopping done. Lucky the supermarket delivered straight, so I just ordered what I needed, which is good. I didn't have to see anything else on the shelves. I could just order, and off I went into my keto. So for the next couple of years, I was keto. I was doing it very strictly. I didn't do all those keto desserts and keto muesli bars and things like that. They're a little bit too full of those artificial sugars, but I tried, just with vegetables and salad and meats to get, and olive oil and MCT oils, got that in, and do a clean version. I probably lost 45, 50 kilos on that, but that's about 2.5 years. But I still had a lot of other issues. My osteoarthritis was getting worse and worse in my hip and in my knees. Of course, when you're overweight like I was like near 170 odd kilos, which is big for my frame of, I'm only 5 foot tall or 150 centimeter tall, so it's not much. So I was like a round little mama. And so, when you so overweight, something has to give, of course, a lot of issues. So even on keto, I was getting a little bit better, but my knees and my hips, no. And I just started not to feel too good either. And I spoke to a friend of mine. She was my keto coach a little bit. I had a keto coach, nutrition coach. And she said, I'm just reading up on all these oxalates. She was reading up, that's going back 2.5 years now, 2 years now. And from Sally Norton. And so I ordered the book and started reading as well. And I got back to her and I said, oh my God, I'm eating so much spinach and almonds. Oh my God, every day I would have not one handful, I would have 2 or 3 handfuls because I just love almonds. And no wonder my stomach, after eating all these almonds, was making funny noises. I was way overeating, poisoning myself every day.
Jeez,
So
imagine.
I said, oh, I might as well give all that up. And she said, why don't you just do meat-only diet? I think it's called Carnivore. So I Googled that up and came across Dr. Chafee straight away, then Dr. Baker, Dr. Ken Berry, Kelly Hogan, Steak and Butter Girl, all those people come up on Instagram and Facebook. And so, so that was great. So I thought, well, I can do this. So it's coming up 1st of May this year is 2 years, so not quite 2 years. I'm a month short of 2 years. And and I haven't looked back. It's been amazing. So I got into Carnivore. I joined How to Carnivore with Dr. Chafee first month and joined his other group afterwards. Because groups, you need groups. You need the community around you because they cheer you up. You can talk. You can let your hair down if you have the bad week, or you can talk about why are you not losing, or why are you putting on weight, or how much fat to eat, and all those things. And what's your next steak, going to be like. So the last couple of years have been an amazing journey. If I would have known 4.5 years ago when I was in keto, all the scientific stuff and research I do know now, since I've been doing Carnivore, it would have been even easier to do. Within weeks, and this didn't fix so much on keto, my blood pressure used to be very high, 170, 160. And in keto, it only went down to about 140, 145. Where soon, maybe 6 weeks into Carnivore, my blood pressure, the first time ever, and when I was at the doctor's, was 121, and then always fluctuated between 113, 121 over 70, something like that. Perfectly normal. And the doctor started to type it into his, into the computer, and I was just so happy. Every time I go now to the doctor, say, can you take my blood pressure? I want to have a look, because I'm so happy not having high blood pressure. And I never took any tablets, because I did years and years ago. They gave me tablets for high blood pressure, but my stomach got so upset that I said, I don't need them. So I never took them, and I never saw it went down, and within 6 weeks, and keto only brought it down a little bit, but it was probably cutting out the rest of the vegetables what did it, and upping the fat probably did that. So my blood pressure got back to normal. I used to have lots and lots of asthma. It took maybe a year, just a little bit over a year, and the asthma was starting to get better. Like, I'd be on that puffer all the time, and maybe it was a bit of humidity as well up North Queensland too, but I was all the time on that asthma thing, and that's now just gone. I haven't had an asthma spray for last 5-6 months, so I'm so thrilled about that. My gut is definitely healing much, much, much better. The osteoarthritis, it's funny. When I'm really good and I really eat proper amount of fats, and I check myself properly what I do eat, I keep just a diary, write it down. And then I can see if I get in pain, if I haven't eaten enough fatty meats or a little bit extra butter with my meats. When I have that and my ketones are high, sometimes I do read the ketones measurement, then I have no pain in my knees. But if I only eat meat and not too much fat, if I go out for a party, maybe have a bit too much, maybe have some cheese, or at the party, like cheese, not crackers, just the cheese. Or then the next day I suffer too. I get pain in my knees. So the pain level is practically nothing. Where before
Wow.
keto or before carnivore, I was always in constant pain with my knees. It's still there. It's not going to go away. I'm still limping, but it's because it's bone on bone. I'm waiting for another operation in my knees, which has to be done. However, at least the pain, I don't have to take painkillers. Where I used to take every day six painkillers, or sometimes 8 a day, those osteopanadols.
Yeah.
And but only being really looking that I am in that ketosis state, it helps my osteoarthritis big time. So that's my really good thing on osteo. I do, people don't talk about it a lot. Sometimes when you're obese and you can't lose weight, is also, and it's more in women, you have lipedema, and I'm one who has that unfortunate disease. It's not an obesity disease. It's got to do with the lymph fat and all that. Too much to go into it, but this also used to cause lots of pain and bruising in my legs and hips. And ever since I'm that low carb, and also especially since I'm on carnivore, I don't have that bruising anymore. I don't have that pain from it anymore. And now I'm just hoping that it will settle more. There is no cure for it yet. And hopefully there will be something. But so that's a little bit about my story, so far.
I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. But before we get back into it, I really want to talk about something I think is very important for health and longevity, and it's about adult stem cells. Did you know that adult stem cells are essential for the repair and renew of damaged and old cells in your body? But here's the catch. As you age, the number of adult stem cells in your circulation decreases. By age of 35, your natural release of adult stem cells can drop up to 45%. By 50, it can drop as much as 50%. And by 65, it can plummet by up to 90%. Fortunately though, there is a solution. There is a product out there in the market that naturally increases the amount of adult stem cells that circulate in your bloodstream. It's by a company called Cerule, and the magical product is called Stem Enhance Ultra. And there's also a bunch of amazing products that Cerule offer that help with the migration of adult stem cells. Now, to check this out for yourself, go click the link below that I'll provide in the video description. And I should also note that you can get your products for free. So check it out, and with that, let's get back to the show. That's amazing. And just to highlight this to people, how much in total did you lose?
All up now, I got 82 kilos.
Wow.
So it's been a journey. Has its ups and downs. I did come to a store, even that was on Carnivore, when it actually gone up a little bit. And oh my God, I was so upset. Suddenly the weight went up, and then I had to work it out, because everybody said you can eat, until you're full. But that's another thing. Like men, it's a little bit different with men, and then women, they got still hormones, and then you're senior, you got other things. And if you got a couple other issues like me with my lipedema as well, you have to hack it a little bit. So I did learn actually what I did, and it's worth it out there, people. Kelly Hogan, she's got amazing videos out. She also had to lose a lot of weight, and then she put on weight first, and then she, once she knew how to work it all out. Now I did her course. I too had to work out what is actually, because I was always overeating. I love eating, right? I love food. Maybe it's because I've been hospitality for so many years. So I was always overeating and emotional eating. If there was a problem, I was eat. So I didn't know when my hunger feeling, when I was full, I didn't know where to cut off. I sort of knew, but I didn't really, right? So I did what Kelly told us to do, work out I worked out where my maintenance calories are. I know it's calories in and calories out, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
So I worked out that my maintenance would be around 1650, 1700 calories. Let's say
Yeah.
1700 calories. And so we worked out what that was. So I worked out, that's about 450 grams of meat.
Yeah.
And I worked it out, with the protein. And that gave me, for my height, enough protein, 90 grams, between 80 and 95 grams a day. All right, something like that. And that was enough because I can't go higher because I'm not doing any workouts. I'm still not quite mobile yet with my osteoarthritis and just had a hip operation and lipedema. I'm still struggling. So I'm actually walking on one of them really things, machines. And it's getting better. I'm on a treadmill as well now, which you helped me set up actually. So that's good. And so I'm doing my walking. I'm going to get off all these crutches and things. But so of course, my maintenance was 1700. And so I then had to go a little bit into deficit. And so I'm eating just about 200 calories less. So I worked out what that meat, so I did all these little, burgers. I made some lamb chops. I worked all that out in my carb manager. How much can I have of everything? Then I ate that and 2 meals a day first and seeing, no, I'm full. I don't need anything else. So now I know I had to train my mind and my body. I got enough nutrients. I got enough food coming in. I don't need more. That's it. And so that's where sometimes if we are overeater, I think we might have to go and do work out exactly what we actually need, where's our calorie cut off, and then just jinx it a bit with, a little bit 100 grams less, or 100 calories less, 200 calories less, and now the weight is slowly coming off and back to good. So that's how I had to do it, and it seems to be working. So there's different ways,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really good point to highlight about the overeating because that's me as well. And you've had a bit more mileage, in terms of your time here on Earth, and so you would have had to. I don't know what your eating patterns were like, but if it were like mine, I definitely was an overeater at a very young age. I even whenever I would feel full because of the carbohydrates and sweets, of course I'm gonna eat more and eat more, and that was in my mind. That's what my my brain was used to was just keep eating that feeling of, you're stuffed. Yeah.
And my mom always said, you have to finish everything. What are the poor people going to eat in Africa? They're starving.
Exactly.
You better finish that plate, And how we grew up, like mom would put all the food in platters, so we had to, she made a plate for us. And then sometimes we had another helping, right? Which wasn't good for me, so I would have other helping. And so I was okay as a kid, a little bit on the plum side, not too much, because I was running around and all that, but I wasn't that good at sports, so I wasn't too active there. And so it was easy for me to put on weight. Also over the years as well, I was drinking. I'm not saying I was an alcoholic or things like that. However, if you go out and, like I was just talking to my friend this morning, and had a 5-course meal in a 5-star restaurant, which we had at the hotels. And there was one glass of a different wine with every course. What's that? That's 5 glasses of wine by end of the night. And if you have that every 2-3 days, or you come home after work, sit with friends, because I worked in a lot of remote areas, so you get together with your friends and you have a glass of wine and you relax, and another glass of wine. And it just adds up and up and up. And, Yeah, and something in the body has to give. It just has to give, right? And now I'm on a healing journey, on a big healing journey. So even so, I healed, like a lot of issues have now disappeared, like on my mind. It's so good. But I think, yeah, so a few years ago, actually, that was before I went on the diet, keto, my mum was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So I started reading Dale Pressenden. I was reading a lot of books about Alzheimer and how you can actually reverse it through ketogenic diet. And I did take for a while some exogenous ketones, and through them I met, well, I didn't physically meet her, but one of our advisory with on the ketogenic diet as well, and through ketones was Mary, oh God, not Davenport, Dr. Mary, we called her. She's got an amazing book out. And I'm just trying to see if I can find the book. Hang on. I'll find.
No, you're right. No, right.
Find the book. Mary Newport, The Story of Ketones, Alzheimer's Disease. And so she was telling the story about her husband, how she managed, he got early onset Alzheimer's, and how she put in on coconut oil and MCT oils, and it helped, and she could keep him at home. Within a week, he could throw the clock again practically good, where a week early he couldn't. So I was over here, and my mom lives over in Switzerland, so it's a long way. So I kept telling my brothers and sister, please don't bring us sweets. She was by then in the nursing home. And then, of course, my sister would go, yeah, but Elsbeth, I only bring a little piece of cake on Sunday. She loves that, right? I said, yeah, but it's sugar. It's not good for her brain, right? And it was really, really hard. And that was another thing, which when COVID came and I started to think, hold on, Elsbeth, you need to look after yourself. I don't want to go yet. And this COVID is not going to kill me. I have to, and I'm definitely not going to have Alzheimer's or dementia. And so I really did a strict diet, and I followed all those protocols I learned through those two doctors already, because I thought, no, I'm not having this. And it's so important. And through Carnivore, it's actually even better. Like there is in America, there's what's his name? There's a guy
Kramer.
Yeah, he owns a few nursing homes, and he's got amazing success with the Carnivore ketogenic diet with elder patients who have actually been able to go back home, who became good because they could just feed them this fruit and lots of high fats and taking all the vegetables and all this out, and they're becoming better. So it's amazing, and we need to look after that, because again, it's the sugar, it's the insulin, that's what's killing it. It's the carbs, and people don't realize. Even this morning, I put the reel up on Instagram about carbs. Like, we don't realize we have healthy break. People have overnight oats with fruit on it, and they think it's healthy, but it's carb loaded. It spikes your insulin. Smoothies. Green smoothie spikes your insulin. Diet Cokes, diet drinks spikes your insulin as well. All those artificial sugars, you might say zero, but it's not. It's still, sugar goes up. I've measured it myself. All the time I try. I prick the finger and I'll do my little measurements there because I'm curious. Banana, things like that, fruit. Bread, pasta, rice, and we can eat healthy, but I'm eating healthy. But if we eat so many times, if we have breakfast morning tea, a quick muesli bar, lunch, afternoon tea, something, and then dinner again. The sugars just goes up and down, and the body can't cope with that.
Yeah.
And we don't listen. I mean, I think the society, we've become too lazy to just listen on the TV. Oh yeah, there's a new diet. Oh look, they lost a lot of weight. Okay, I might do that. Lady shake or replace one meal and things like that. But as soon as they talk about keto diet or carnivore diet, oh my God, no, how can you eat that? Only steak, or meat. It's not good for your cholesterol and things like that, So last year, if people ask, I gave my bloods. I was in hospital, had a hip operation last year in November, and all my blood markers were so good. The doctor was amazed. My vitamin B, my vitamin D was good. All whatever range, upper range. And of course, the LDL was a little bit up, but not over, but it was good. Yeah. Doctor was saying, ooh, it's a bit, I'm on keto. And he goes, okay, then I'm not going to go into it. You'll be fine. I was lucky. And but I was very, very happy, even so I'm still suffering, with other issues like, what's it called, that neuropathy, which I've had now for a while as well. But again, I'm keeping myself, it's getting a little bit better. Because now I'm retired now, so I've got more time to research things, and I like it because I want to get healthy. I want to get rid of all this bullshit. Sorry with the language.
No, I keep swearing. It's all right.
I know. I damaged myself over so many years. My message for out there, if you hear that, even if you're very, very overweight, even if you're in your 60s. You can still, it's worth it. Start today. If you don't know how, contact me. I will help you. No problems. Jeff will help you. Jeff does amazing courses in how to get down with weight management. And I can help you with age-related things. And especially if you can't mobility, it's worth starting. It's not too late because why should we sit down? I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to sit around and all the time have to ask other people helping me. That's why I'm reading things. That's why I'm researching. So I'm into stem cells at the moment, and which is very, very interesting. But the stem cell injections are like, what are they? Thousands of dollars, aren't they, Josh?
Easily.
So I found this supplement. And it seems to be working really well. It's based on spirulina, I think it is, yes. And what it all does. And so I'm doing this now. I'm really watching my food intake, making sure I get good fats. I do my exercise every day, and I do see since I take those, my hands are working a little bit better now. I've got it in my hands, numbness and tingling, and my sensory is not so good. But so I don't want all these cortisone injections because they last maybe a week or two and then it goes back to things. So I want to improve. So I'm doing it. I'll do a lot more research on that thing and go from there.
It's awesome to hear your stories, and you've touched on a lot of points that I think, people really, really need to hear. But we'll go break it down in a bit. But you talked about, the Alzheimer's and that sort of disease, this aging disease that people say, once you get Alzheimer's or dementia, that's it. You're in a home.
It's not it. Actually, a friend of mine, just 2 weeks ago, I found out a friend of mine that she had it. And I rang her husband and then spoke to him. He said, she's only 62 and she didn't know about it now for 8 years. So in her 50s, early onset.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably through her diet as well, because yes, she was living good life and everything, and carb loaded and likes a drink or two. We don't know nowadays, but I'm sure. I am so sure, because what I could see from my mom, and I think, how did my mom get this? She was exercising. She went every week to exercise classes. We had a big garden with vegetables, right? We
Yeah.
had meat. She worked at the butcher, so she always brought good meat back home. So we had the meat. But she loved baking too. So she made bread. She made cakes on the weekend. She had to have a biscuit with her coffee. And one thing she had to have every day was her little Saccharin. I don't know, that's in German. Sweetener in her coffee, just one little tablet every day in her coffee, and a biscuit, and that was her daily thing. Also, when the seed oils came in, she always had sunflower oil, and canola oil was in the kitchen for cooking, and margarine.
Yes.
Where my grandma lived in the same house in upstairs in the grandma area, she always cooked with butter and fat. She did the old thing where she
Old
grew up.
school.
My
Yeah.
grandma grew up on a farm. So and we used to go upstairs and we used to get butter on a bread and a bit of garlic, and we eat that. And she never had that other fat. She never bought margarine. She always had butter. And but mom, we were 4 kids. Mom only worked part time. And so it was money as well. And of course, there wasn't enough info about it. And then, oh, yeah, it's cheaper to buy that than to buy olive oil. It's cheaper to buy, sunflower oil for this, and this. And margarine was cheaper than butter. So why not? And and I can, because otherwise, mom and dad would go up in the mountains. They're always walking. And I thought she was so healthy. She didn't drink. She had maybe a glass of wine on the weekend. And I thought, how did she get Alzheimer's? But then when I started knowing, take seed oils, take margarine, take carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And even so, she had a good body. She was not a kilo overweight ever. But that's what killed it. And then all those drugs they give them, they go very quickly down. As soon as they're on those, I couldn't believe it. They should be, those drugs should be helping them, that they go slower. But no, bang, 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 bang. You could see her decline. And so my friend, I advised him, and apparently he's doing so. I said, look, really, if you only can, and that's what that Dr. Mary said, did with her husband, she started it off about 7 teaspoons of MCT oil or coconut oil every day in top of his meal, right? And then went on a ketogenic diet with him, and she could see improvement. He was an accountant, he couldn't do that anymore, but she's seen within 2-3 weeks he could mow the lawn again. He said, oh, Mary, it's like a cloud is lifting off my head. I'm a little bit clearer again. And so she managed to keep him like that. But when he had to go to hospital, he was sick or had the flu or something, had to go to hospital. And they were giving him normal hospital meals until she found out, and didn't give him the MCT oil. Within 2 days, down. Then she got her daughter in herself, and they made sure 24 hours that they brought his own food in, gave him the MCT oils again, and he went back. Within 2 days, 3 days, he was better again, and he could keep. And she could still go traveling with him. So it's so important. There is little things out there, if you have it, or if one of your parents have it, that you can still have a better life, and you can, in Alzheimer's and dementia. And unfortunately now more and more younger people have get it. And I'm sure, like, I mean, I can't say I'm not a doctor, I'm not a whatever, but I know from what I can see, it's through carbs. And
Yes.
we were talking about that the other night with somebody. You, me, we have problems with weight, right? And of
Mm.
course, when you have problems with weight, other issues come along. Other people, they might be skinny. They
Mm.
have problems with gut issues. Girls, I know when I worked, I had young 21-year-olds, 20, 18. They had peer problems. They had
Yes.
all this hormonal problem, and they were as skinny as anything, good body, eating all this junk food, and but they were unhealthy as, looking
Yeah. Yeah.
healthy but unhealthy as,
Yeah.
and it's just the carbs and what it does to the body, and it's carbs and seed oils, and
Yeah.
once we take that out, even if we still have some vegetables, uh, certain vegetables are not that high. There's another thing we could talk about is oxalates, or you could
Yes.
maybe talk with somebody about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is some vegetables which have a lot of different poison in it, and I think out there, a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like this vegetable. Oh, I don't like that vegetable."
Yeah.
Some vegetables we just don't like, and other like
No.
vegetables we do like, but
Yeah.
they also have a defense mechanism. Like I watched on the island, we had kangaroos, and they wouldn't eat certain grasses. They
Yes.
wouldn't. They eat
Yes.
certain bushes, but not other bushes, right?
Mm.
And you wondered why, and it's just so yeah, because they know that's not good for them. They know,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, so and this is what we have to do as well. But unfortunately, it's when you go into the supermarket, you just got so many aisles and the choice, thousands of items of choices, and you just, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna have this, and everything is
Yes.
in a packet, and everything got ingredients in it, and we don't, we just on automatic,
Yeah.
grab,
Yeah.
grab, grab,
Just
and
grab
then go
whatever.
home,
Yeah.
and we
Yes.
think we eat good, but we don't,
Yeah.
and that's how we have all our problems. Cancer,
Yeah.
diabetes is another one. Oh, that's another one. I was that pre-diabetic.
Mm.
Um, my blood readings when I went switched from keto to carnivore was still in the high 7.5 on the fasting in the morning, 6.9, 8.2, very high. And
Mm.
within, I don't know, four weeks or something, it's gone down to 5.5, 5.2, very normal
Nice.
blood. My A1C is now 4.8, I think, average. So
Nice.
very nice. So yeah, so all those things have gone really good, and but it is those artificial things which are everywhere. They're hidden. They're everywhere, and
Oh,
that is
absolutely.
what's killing us. That's what how we killing ourselves because we're too lazy. It's too quick to just grab a packet, shove it into microwave, press the button, and we have food.
Mm-hmm.
Because we only have half an hour lunch. Oh, we
Mm.
take our own lunch. I just have a quick meal, and we have all these ingredients in it, in the gravies. Even those little packs you can buy, what they call the finished meals.
Yeah, like the finished meals, the ready to go meals. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them out there, and they look good and sort of healthy, but they still have rice in it. They still have gravy on
Yeah.
things, and we
Yeah.
don't know what the ingredients are,
Oh, we
and
never
so
do.
they're still high trying, and it's just not good. So we really need to look after ourselves. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome, awesome points. Funny, I was just actually thinking about you said about just going on autopilot, grabbing things from the supermarket aisles. You know why we do that? It's because it's in our brains. It's the conditioning. It's we seek comfort. That would have been very beneficial for if you believe in our, ancestors in the evolution of us, but we would have, back in the days, we needed to know that, oh, there's food here, there's a berry bush here, or there's a herd of animals here. So we know that we're comfortable in knowing where things are. Nowadays, we've just taken it to a different environment. Now we know, this is where the chocolates are. This keeps me safe. Grab that. We don't
I
even
mean,
think about it.
even the indigenous, when I lived in my hospitality, I was lucky to be quite all over Australia. So I lived for a few years out at Ayers Rock. So I managed to get out to a couple of the Aboriginal communities. And we also did a big, one Indigenous lady, she explained, she did walks for tourists. Yes. And she told us a lot, how the tribe. So yes, the men went out hunting. And now this only goes back, this is Ayers Rock, so that community, so maybe 80 years, 100 years, let's say 100 years, all right? So 100 years ago, the men were still hunting really big time out there.
Yeah.
And then she showed us through, and this was right out there at Ayers Rock. We walked through a garden or through a bush, and she showed us, this tree, it's got little red berries. We can eat that. And so when we were moving, they were like little nomads on their land, right? So they were moving around to hunt and gather. So if they didn't have much food, if they couldn't get anything, meat, they would have some berries or witchery grubs, which I never had, and worms, things like that, lizards, but plums, sometimes the plums were in season. They would have a few. But that was not much, that wasn't.
Not at all.
Their main meal was meat. It was kangaroo, lizard, whatever, emu, whatever came across, and then it's only now in those communities, which is really, really sad, is they're so far out, so they got little shops there now, and when the food truck comes once a week, the big truck, yes, main thing in there is rice, is noodles, is potatoes, is pumpkin, and carrots, and those are the veggie sort of size of things. And their meat is not much. It's all whatever, sausages, and everything is processed type of thing and cheap, and lots and lots and lots of soft drinks with sugar in it. And now the population, half of them are diabetics. A lot of them are on dialysis. I know that 100% for a fact. And that's only in the last few years, because their body, that race has not been adapted like we have been for thousands of years, And it's the same now with you from the Philippines, Asian.
Yes.
It's total different eating now. And now you come to the Western side too, and to the adoption days, it's different. We need to grow up. We need to say, stop, this is not good. We need to do something. And if we do it, the more and more people who say, hang on, we can do this better. We're doing it for us.
Yes.
Then more and more they stand up for it. It'll be it'll become more of a norm.
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, it's hard Australia is such a big country with so many different nationalities and culture like you. And I'm from Europe, so originally, so we eat differently, like you, more Asian, Filipino food is different. So there's a lot of, or Indian, it's all rice based and more vegetarian based.
Yes.
And so we need to work out what kind of food is good for them, which is low carb.
Absolutely.
We actually have to go back into the history. How did they eat before?
Yes.
What did they eat 300, 400, 500 years ago? Even if you only go back that much, and start implementing more menus like that and more dishes into go back to ancestors. We don't have to go thousands and thousands of years, maybe just a few 100 years back and
Yeah,
implement a
absolutely.
few, and then we'll see an improvement. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So let's go back to carnivore here for a second, because you went and tried it out despite the fact that what the mainstream media tells you is that you need to avoid saturated fats, you need to eat plenty of fiber, you need to eat your veggies, eat your fruits, yet you decided to go against that. You decided to just say, nope, this is what I'm doing. What made you think of? Did you have any fears getting into it because of what the
No,
message has been told to us?
I think because I already was read through keto, I was actually quite strict through ketogenic diet.
Yes. Yeah.
And I learned a lot from a couple of doctors through the exogenous ketone thing when
Yes.
I was still taking those supplements.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped a lot. However, I had to read up before I went carnivore, before I chopped all those last vegetables.
Yes.
I came across Judy
Judy Cho. Yes.
yeah, Judy Cho.
Yes.
She's got an amazing book. I got it on my
She does.
eBay on my phone, and
Yes.
so I was reading up, and suddenly said, "Oh, a ribeye steak got all these minerals and everything,
Yeah.
and mincemeat got this, and this got that, and lamb got this, and eggs. Oh my God, eggs are very healthy for you, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
butter. And when we think in Europe, like like I remember my grandma used to make her own butter from cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
shake the thing and you got your butter, and it's just cream, really. And so, yeah, so I thought, so I will. And then, of course, I learned a lot through Dr. Chafee when I joined that group once I started carnivore. But so I wasn't worried that I wouldn't get my vitamins. And, I was
Well, that's
prepared to
good.
take more, but
Yeah.
I didn't have to take anything extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I felt good. And with the fat as well,
Yeah.
if I had the fatty meat, I was fine. So I didn't have to supplement much fat. I just put a knob of butter on top of my steak or on top of my
Yeah.
burger. And
Yeah.
that was it. I eat eggs when I can. At the moment, it's a bit hard to get some eggs at
Tell
the
me about it.
supermarket. I know it's
Yes.
hard. It's so. I think I need to buy some chickens for the backyard or something. And sell them or something and make some money.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
but yeah. So no, I read it, and then as soon as because I joined straight away a group, and
Yeah.
I listened the YouTube videos. I listened to everything, and I thought, oh no, I'm fine. And we never talk about going to toilet, right?
Yeah.
Even on keto, I was good.
Yeah.
And then on carnivore, people were saying, "Oh, what about fiber, Elsbeth? You need fiber. You need fiber. What are you having for
Yeah.
fiber?" And I go, "But why? I'm going to the toilet every second day, and I'm doing really, really well. And why do I need fiber? It's good. It's all
Yeah.
perfect." And but that's what people just don't understand, the fiber. But you
Yeah.
have to read it up because meat has all that nutrient and it digests it and goes into all the where we need it in our body. And then the rest, what the body doesn't need, that's what we then take goes out when we have to go and poop it out. So, yeah, the first few weeks maybe was a little bit hard, getting adjusted. For me,
Yeah.
not because I was carnivore, keto before. So I sort of suggest if you decide to go carnivore, do a good clean out of your pantry, do
Yeah.
the cupboard, read all about keto and
Yeah.
carnivore, and start setting yourself up. Get into a
Yeah.
group, even if you don't start eating straight away that way, and do
Yeah.
maybe 3-4 weeks ketogenic, but very clean, just your vegetables and meats, and slowly take that out. And then maybe the second month you can start going strict carnivore.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I found out too, I was eating a bit. I love my cheese. All right, so cheese. I'm from
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Me too.
Hello, we
Me
love
too.
cheese, right?
I love it.
And so, of course, I would have a slice of cheese with this, grated cheese with that, and cheese crackers and making them. And too much cheese. I had a bit of yogurt, natural yogurt, cream on things, cream
Yes.
cheese and all these things. And then I wondered why I didn't lose weight because I was too high in fats and everything else. As soon as I cut out the cheese,
Yeah.
things went the right direction. I felt much better. I still have it. So on a weekend, if I go somewhere, take a cheese platter with me, or that's my treat. And it's not a cheat treat either. It's I cheat with my cheese a little bit, and
Of
that's
course.
true because I love my cheese. I
Yes.
overeat it then, you see, when I'm
Yes.
somewhere and they put cheese out and salami and all
Yes.
this deli food, which is okay to have, but not really because it's all got
Sugar and
supplements inside
preservatives. Yeah.
those. Yeah, if you don't know who made it. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I do tend to overeat a little bit on that day.
Yeah.
And then I'll wonder why I suffer for the next couple of days a little bit. It's amazing how the pain comes back, how your arthritis
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
back
It
just with
does.
little things like that. Just with little
Mm.
things like that. And
Mm.
yeah, so start keto first, maybe a few weeks, and drop those carbs, and then drop over a few weeks, and then go into carnivore. That way, you probably don't have that keto flu, that headaches, because it's
Yes.
you detoxing,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you go through a little bit of uncomfortableness if you
Yeah.
go directly in. Some people go
Yes.
directly in and they find the first 2 weeks tired,
Yeah.
cranky, and headachy. So that's the first few weeks. But if you go slowly in, you should be all right. And
Yeah.
then, of course, but if you were one, I was more of a cheese eater and a savory
Mm.
overeater. A lot of people are sugar craving.
Yeah.
There's
That's
so
me.
many people sugar craving. Were you sugar
Yeah.
craver?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
there's three things: go for a walk, drink more water,
Mm.
and go for a walk. Yeah,
Go for a
that's the
walk. Clear
best thing.
clear your mind.
Yeah, and
Yep.
get away from the thing and drink water.
Yep. That's
If
it.
you crave something like sugar, um, because that can hurt. And the other thing is true. We might think, even monk fruit and stevia and some of
Yeah.
those sweetness in electrolytes.
Yes.
So I used to take electrolytes when I was keto, but
Yeah.
I've given them up now. I just make sure I got enough salt on
Enough
my
salt. Wonderful.
enough salt, and I put some salt on my tongue in the morning, a few corns, wash it down.
Yeah.
I don't put it in my water, I just have it like that. I use Celtic salt, I like that.
Nice.
Not the fine, I like the coarse one. And I love it actually, really, I like it. And that's it. I need salt water. That's it at the moment. I'm on
Wow.
more lions, I think.
More
I
lion
am.
diet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good on you.
So
Good
even
on
the
you.
eggs, I couldn't get eggs, and I said, I might as well do lions at the moment. I order my meat in, so I help the farmers, so I get
Yes.
directly ordered in, and I get a box. And I'm actually saving money. People think, and I'm on a pension, so, you can't, so, because all they need, but I buy butter from the supermarket, and I get a meat box. I've
Yeah.
got water, and I got a filter for the water, and salt. I get the salt from Celtic salt, and that's it. Eggs, I have to get from the supermarket if they have, because I don't know anybody yet with eggs.
No.
And down here, so, and those are the things. So maybe I spend for myself between $90 to $100 a week, depending on if I have a few steaks. they can be a bit more expensive, but
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
around 80 for those items. And then, of course, you got your other little items,
Yeah.
and toilet paper. But you spend much less money, and
Yeah.
you don't
It's better
realize,
for your health.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't buy vegetables, you don't buy sauces, you don't buy all those spices and herbs and things and all those extra things you need on a plate. You don't go to the bakery, you don't buy a loaf of bread and your eggs and bacon and everything. You just have only your eggs and bacon and a good piece of butter on top, and you're full. And you don't
Absolutely.
have the bread, where
Yeah.
before you had the bread as well. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm saving money.
Mm.
And I've given up coffee now 2 months. I used to drink the
See?
coffee,
Mm.
and I had the butter in the coffee, the nice bulletproof coffee, which was yummy,
Yeah.
lovely. But 2 months now, and I'm actually doing very good. So I'm proud of myself too. So I really, really know I'm
Wow.
not. I'm strict as now. Yeah.
Strict as wow. So you are like, and I've met you in person. One of the few carnivores I've actually met in real life, and you are doing amazing. Now the carnivore diet is obviously going to be your the one thing that has helped you a lot, but you I can see that you're doing a lot of other things, like you going on a walks on the treadmill. You've been fasting. You're doing some grounding, and you're also taking supplements to aid you with improving your adult stem cell release as well. So the things that you're doing, it's really, really, awesome to see that you are taking full control of your health.
Yeah, I
Full
have to.
control.
Yeah, I'm only taking those supplements for which enhances those stem cells because
Yeah.
of my that neuropathy thing I
Neuropathy.
have,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think I needed it. I need
Yeah.
more because I need to hit that uh, I need to hit that and get rid of it.
Yes. Yes.
But so I'm doing that. Before a year ago, like even on keto, I never bought any vitamins, minerals, and things like that.
Yeah.
I never, when I first started carnivore, I never bought
Yeah.
anything. Um, I don't even go and buy the carnivore bars, or I don't
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
I do have a shake once in a while. I have one brand which is pretty good, but I don't supplement with protein powders or what do you
Yeah.
call it? Those protein bars,
Yeah. The
because
protein
they got a
bars.
lot of other stuff in it as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and I keep those for maybe snacks. So last year when I was in
Yeah.
hospital, I took protein powder with me, and I took some meat bars with me, and they helped me because at least in the hospital you don't get always what you need, so I had to eat something,
That's
and
right.
I was lucky. But beef jerky, I got a good brand now.
Yeah.
I get. So, and they're my little snacks once in a while, beef jerky. Or if you go on a trip, you take some of that. I'll make it
Yeah.
myself too when I can. I got a dehydrator,
Dehydrator.
and
Nice.
so it's easy. And I do buy some good pork crackle from Australian whatever
Yes. Yeah.
she lady in Perth. She makes amazing pork crackle. Got that on sale, and I don't get paid for that. I mentioned her by the way. She's amazing, and I love that. But I again only I buy a bag, a kilo bag here and there, and lasts me
Yes.
for a month or two, and I don't have it all the time, so it's just
Yeah.
a bit of a snack
Yeah.
here and there. So yes, so no, I've been very strict. I'm glad it makes sense. I do have, like my exercise, because I've gone through the last 6 months, 7 months, have been a bit tough for me having a hip operation. My lipedema got flared up through that, which I didn't think it would be so bad, but it was really, really bad. Still healing from that. And the doctor actually said it's normal, Elsbeth. The lipedema can cause a big hassle, especially with operation when you disturb those fat cells.
Yeah.
And so the last 6 months have been terrible. So I had to get a shower chair. I had to get a toilet, extra thing for the toilet. So what am I doing now? I'm doing dumbbell weights for my arms so I don't have to. And why? So people, you might laugh out there, but it's not laughing matter. You're getting older and suddenly you break your leg or you had some other accident. It can be the simplest thing, an accident. Suddenly you can't get off the toilet. You have to find something to pull you. You're a nurse, you know.
Yeah,
I have to find something to pull you up. And we haven't been doing exercise. And if, like me, I don't like exercises. I'm not one of the gym with all those weights.
Yeah.
So I thought, I need to get that done. So I got those 1 kilo dumbbells out and I started with that. And then now I'm doing sit-ups, chair squats all the time. So I'm now up to, I can do now about 40, nearly 50 a day. So I need to get to 2 times 40. If I eat twice a day, I'll try to get 80 in, at least 40 to 80 a day on those chair squats. And you know what? I had awful trouble getting off the sofa at night. Now I can get up first go and no problems. And that's just after weeks of just doing those chair squats. And I'm getting stronger in my arms, lifting things. I still haven't got the fine motor, whatever, what do you call it, motor, picking things up, the fine thing. I still haven't got that under control yet, but that's coming. But I'm keeping, because of the numbness and the tingling, I'm keeping the muscle strong. And I'm now gone from a 1 kilo dumbbell to a 2 kilo per dumbbell. So it's an improvement.
It's a huge improvement.
It is. And people out there, they go, oh, yeah, you know, oh, whatever, you know, I'm old now, who cares? You know, but you have to care. This is important. You don't want to be spoon-fed and all this. You know, we got lives in front. We got many good years in front of us, you know. We don't need to suffer. We don't need the pain. We need to, you know, we need to look after ourselves. And we can do it with little things, So exercise is important. And also important is your mind. So reading, community, you know, be it online or going out, finding a community around you, good, better programs on TV than some of the programs. Reading, of course, I've been there. What else? What haven't we covered? So meditation for people who do that. And that's very important. The why are we doing it? Like I said, I want to get up off the toilet seat. I don't want to be a burden to friends and family and all that. So I have to do what I can do to get better. And that's a big why. So if I think, oh, I should have that donut. No, you're not, because you don't want to go down that road. So I'm not, you know, or too much cheese. I'm not buying the cheese anymore, you know. So only on rare occasions. So because I don't want to suffer the next day. And when people say, come on, you can have that. It's your birthday or it's something farewell. And I'm going, yeah, but, you know, you are not in my body tomorrow. I am.
Yeah. Yes,
so I say no. Yeah, so I have to be tough there. And it's tough sometimes. But and people need to learn to understand that. They need to learn. And I see it with young kids or with families, with children a lot. Oh, but it's so-and-so's birthday. Let them have some sweets. Oh, tomorrow they're going, they want something sporty. Oh, look, let's take them to McDonald's to celebrate. The next day is somebody else's birthday. The next day is something else again. So every day becomes an excuse. And those kids have lollies and cakes and McDonald's and bad food. And then we wonder why they end up with ADHD. their blood sugar is up and down constantly at school. It's just so many issues, allergies, which they shouldn't have.
Oh, I
And
see it all the time.
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
It's bad. And
crazy.
that's just because we have excuse. Yeah, let them have a little bit. Let them have a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's sad,
But
yeah.
but look, like I said, I'm glad that you are one of those that are taking control, and you are definitely what I think to be one of the biggest, inspirations that I think many people need to look up to, because what you've overcome over the last few years has been nothing but amazing. And I think people need to listen to your story, and people need to follow you on Instagram, because what you are posting is, it's amazing stuff. Not just for the elderly, but all ages as well. So
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
doing what you're doing. Let's do a shout out to the people who have influenced you the most in your health journey so far. The top three. Let's give the top three.
Okay. All right, the top three. Simon Lewis is one of them. He's always answers everything. Dr. Chafee, of course. I'm in his groups, and I love it, love it, love it. Top three. Oh God, Kelly Hogan, definitely.
Yes.
That's top three.
That's awesome.
I could go on and on and on, but they
know.
helped me. They helped me a lot on my journey, and of course, a lot of friends, a lot of friends who've been absolutely supportive, And I'm just saying, all my friends. I just don't, if they hear it, they say, "Oh, she didn't mention me," but I mean everybody out there. Even on Instagram, I haven't had many bad negative comments really, which is great, because sometimes you do get that people do get jealous out there when you post things, But if I can help, when you're so obese, there is help, because you get looked at and people look at you and go, even now I'm still not slim. That people still look at people and say, "Oh, look, she should be losing weight." And I'm doing the same thing. I see people and I go, "Oh, they really need to go on a carnivore diet." And I'm going, hang on. You don't know that lady on the bus. Maybe she is on a carnivore diet and she's losing weight. She's on the journey. How can we judge people who we don't even know them, right? And so it's so, we so, I don't know, us humans, we are so, through social media, we're judging so quickly nowadays, everything, and which is not right. And because everybody battles their own way, so we need to help. Yeah. Absolutely. And if anybody wants to contact me, go for it. Yeah.
Your top three carnivore foods.
Top three carnivore foods. Okay, right up on top, ribeye. When I can afford it.
When you can afford it. I was going to say, you must be rich with that piano in the background there.
Oh, not quite. Not yet. No, that's just my back screen. Sorry. Wishful thinking, yeah. So, yeah, but ribeyes, and because they are ribeye number one, because they got everything. They're high in fat. They got all the vitamins in it. So, no problems. I have a lot of mince. Meat, so I love my mince. I make all different kind of things, different shapes and sizes and ways. So it's very affordable. Top three, eggs, as well. Good butter. I use Davenport butter, unsalted, and Celtic salt. Oh, that's a bit top five, but that's what I use. And
that's okay.
Water, yeah.
Top five. There you go. And that's what people should be eating,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
A good basis.
Yeah.
But look, I think, Elsbeth, let's cap it at that. That was a really, really good discussion. It was great to actually hear your story in person as well. I've listened to your story a few times, but hearing it again, it never ceases to amaze me. And it's great to know a carnivore friend in real life. So
thank you very much.
It's good to be connected with you. And for those who are watching, you can follow Elsbeth in her social media. She is on Instagram, on Facebook, Anywhere else? Are you on anywhere else?
No, I was on TikTok, but it's too much
Oh,
for me.
yeah, that's too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, then.
So follow
Well,
follow her on the social media accounts, and don't forget to follow or
I
like
do have
show
a
her the love.
private group on Facebook,
Yes, yes, that's
plus
right.
60 Health and Wellness. So if you are
Yes,
interested and follow me on Facebook, just message me and then I put you into the group. So we just upload there. I think Geoff, you
yeah,
helping me there as well. We
yes,
upload a lot of good, interesting videos, interesting finds we have. Any questions, we answered them. So it's more for information,
mm,
like at the moment. So unless somebody out there says, oh, we should do this in your Facebook group and we can do something. So
yeah,
I'm up for
absolutely.
it. But I do share a lot of things so people can find it. And
Yes,
I've only opened it not so long ago. So what have we got? About 30 or people, I think, in it.
yeah,
And
it's growing.
and we'll grow. Yeah, we'll grow. So we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yes,
So yeah, thanks for having me,
no
Geoff,
worries.
and we'll talk soon.
Definitely. It was a great chat, and I want to thank everyone for watching this episode of Steaks with Mates. I'm your host, Joff, and I want to say thank you again, and I'll see you all
Okay.
in the next episode. All right.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.